Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here coming at you again with another video, and you can see this death destroying world eater rate. It's actually not that great, but I like it a lot. There's some cool features about it. So this is the Tech pistol, and it is a new Genesis 2 thing, and it has some awesome stuff about it. So I've gone ahead and gotten 3 right here. This was from a drop, so 116 barely above prim. You can see this is 170, and then this is 268, which is obviously very high. So what are these things capable of doing? They have 3 modes. One is to kill, to stun, and then to heal. Now the heal, we're going to go over that later on, but just so you can see the DPS they're capable of pumping out on these things, I'll show you how awesome they can really be. Now, just so you can see it right here, you can see this guy is on kill mode, and you just hover it, and it looks like there's a pretty solid stream, so as long as you have element in it, it'll continue to fire. And just a lower level one will average 322 DPS, which is pretty awesome. And then you can get a higher level one, and this guy will pump out quite a bit more damage and hit about 749 DPS, which is quite a bit, obviously. Now, you can do it from quite a distance as well, so you can see that I'm still hitting him. As long as you are actually zoomed in, it seems like you've got like a good amount of distance on it, like give or take like 20 foundations, which is a pretty good thing, obviously, because the closer you can get to this thing, the more accurate it is, because it's just easier to hit it. But as long as you're able to actually hit it from about this far away, what was that, like maybe 20 foundations, you can still use it pretty accurately. So we're going to go ahead and go down here and use this bad boy, and we'll use it on this Paraceratherium. And you can see that it's got the damage 1.1 times on it. It'll actually increase the longer you hold it on something, I believe, and then you kind of just, you know, keep going. Now, this thing is a really nice weapon, because obviously the higher health something has, the more damage you're going to be able to do, and that's a good thing. So, well, come on, smoke this thing. Alright, so it does a pretty good job. So I'm going to spawn in some stuff so you can actually see how much it really is capable of doing, because these things are going to be great for defending and attacking. So let's go ahead and check that out. So let's go ahead and bring in a really overpowered, I don't know, let's bring in a Tech Wyvern. Sure, why not? Nah, that's not quite what we want. Yes, this is what we want. Boom. So, this is a hilariously overpowered, really high health Shadow Main with a very high armor stat. So this is like optimal case of things that you don't want to face. Now we're going to go ahead and make sure that behavior is set to passive, which is something we want to make sure we do. And then we're going to go ahead and unclaim him. And I'll go ahead and show you how much damage we can do, and then use the same thing to heal it. So, that is that right there. So we're going to go ahead and hold this on him so you can see the 1x damage, 1.1, 1.2, 3, 4, and it will multiply the longer we hold it on this thing, and it will cap out at a very high level of times 20 as long as you're holding it on this thing. So you can see that this thing just gets insane damage numbers. Look at that. So, yeah, as long as you're holding it on something, you're going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. Now, you will need element to power this thing, but this is just bonkers. Look at that. That's crazy. So these things are hilariously overpowered because they get the 20 times damage. Now, I've been holding on this guy for quite a while. The crazy thing is that there's no overheating, so you can just continue to smack this thing. And as long as you're kind of continually hitting it, you can see that that cooldown stays pretty low, and you can just make sure you keep shooting it. So this thing's going to be crazy powerful. So now, to give you a feel of how much damage just a lower level one is going to do, you can see 107 per shot, which is still a very, very nice number on it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and check about how much damage we did to this thing. So, almost none. So, you can see that it's still got a lot of health left. Now that it's ours, we're going to go ahead and heal it. So, you can see 13, and then it'll just, as long as you're still healing this thing, it'll kind of just stay from quite a distance, about the same 20 foundation limit on this thing. And maybe we can get it to work from this distance. Nope, gotta be a little closer. No, a little closer. There we go. So you can see I still got quite a bit of distance, so you can actually heal this thing. If you're raiding with something and you've got a good amount of element and some gun, you can actually shoot it up. And yeah, look at that. I mean, that's a pretty good healing percentage right there. So we can use this guy right here, take it off of that, and then heal with the, oh boy, there's the lag. 13 just seems to be the universal number that you get on the percentage healing anyways, so that's what that is. So, now, when you set it to stun, that does not work on your own dinos. We're going to go ahead and unclaim them so you can see that. Unclaim. There we go. And you can see that it doesn't do damage, but it stuns them, so that's pretty valuable. So that's just a tamed one. Let's go ahead and stun this guy. Stun 6%, 11, 24, 100. So notice how it's just got this effect where you just have it stunned. There's almost no damage being off-put by it, but it's also stuck in place. Now, the larger the dinosaur, the more it takes. But it's a solid amount of time to stun it. Now notice how I can't stun it after it's been stunned for a little while, so you have to like give it a little bit of time to go back into its non-stun state before you stun it again. That's the only way I can think of saying that, so that wasn't the greatest. But different dinosaurs have different stun limits on them, so you can see I got a couple of ones over here that should give us a pretty accurate number here. Alright, so you can see it takes a little bit longer on larger dinos to stun them. But you can use that stun gun. 0 damage, and we're up to 40, 50%. And he will stun. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now we're almost there. 95 and 100. So we hit the stun limit on him. So he will get stunned for a little while. He is baited in a whole bunch of other things as well. But he'll stay there for quite a little bit. Now you can see the heal does not work on wild dinos, but it does work on anything that you have tamed. So, but again, this damager is just a shredder of worlds. So hopefully this is something that's helping you guys out, because I think these pistols are going to be ridiculously overpowered in my opinion. Especially because they can destroy, stun, heal, do just about everything you need. And this whole stun thing is going to be pretty big, in my opinion, because if you're not able to do damage to something because it's got a ton of health, you can basically stun it in place, so you have the ability to use other kinds of weapons against it. Like, it's completely useless right here. And then while it's useless, let's say someone's using a Triceratops head, you can just like aim for the foot and do a load of damage to it. And there we go. So it is quite literally that easy to use one of these things, and they are ridiculously overpowered. So anyways, hopefully this video helps you out, and other than that, teach.